Welcome to the post-race conversations for the Toyota Care 250 at Richmond Raceway. Adam Cheek here with Michael Massie and Andrew Stoddard. I guess the first thing we should talk about is thoughts on the race. Chandler Smith gets his first win.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race. You know, it didn't have a lot of carnage, maybe a little bit at the end, a couple wrecks, but a lot of long green flag runs. But the leaders stayed right on top of each other the whole time, and we saw a great battle between Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek at the end. Chandler pulled it out for that first win. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and what a rally for John Hunter Nemechek coming back from that pit road, or that pit call that didn't quite work out in stage one for him and Sammy Smith to rally all the way up to second place.
Yeah, we saw Justin Allgaier make that call near the end. He was able to rally back a little bit, enough to win the Dash for Cash for $100,000. Said it was the weirdest one of his career. But we go into Sunday. Chandler Smith's making his first ever Cup start. I know we're talking with him tomorrow. But what does this give him for tomorrow?
I think it gives him a boost of confidence.
Yeah.
It's a little weird to be making your Cup debut without having won an Xfinity race. He's a rookie in Xfinity, so he's still got a learning curve in this series. But now he's showing that he's arrived. You know, the floodgates could open. He could win a bunch of races in this series, and that's just going to
almost did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. If he knew how to save fuel better, that's what Chris Rice was. Chris Rice talked to him after. He said, you know, we didn't teach him how to save fuel good enough, so he kind of took that one on the chin. But yeah, I think having that confidence now, he's going to feel a little more like he belongs in the Cup Series with the rest of his guys.
Yeah, and maybe never know. If things go crazy, maybe go for the trifecta. He's won the trucks Richmond, Xfinity Richmond today.
Yeah, maybe he wins Cup tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or maybe he makes that start in the fall and wins that Cup race. So any final thoughts on this Xfinity race? Because we did see some great battles. We saw Josh Berry get up there, kind of that short track pedigree coming through for him. We saw John Hunter up there with that comeback a little bit, but a lot of problems for a lot of guys. Daniel Hemrick, Sammy Smith got trapped that lap down. Let's talk about that for a second, because the Gibbs strategy never really worked.
Yeah, it looked like Sammy Smith and John Hunter were just going to kind of run off and, you know, fend amongst themselves for this race when Sammy was pulling away in the before the competition caution. Everybody pits, those two stay out. We get a long green flag run. They find themselves a lap down, and Sammy just could not get that lap back until the very end of the race, and then it was too little, too late. I talked to Jeff Mendering afterwards, and yeah, he took the full blame for that. Just, you know, it was basically a gamble that just went wrong. He thought they would need those tires for the end of the race. Thought there would be more wrecks. There wasn't.
And it's a testament to just how important tires are at Richmond. Just older surface, you know, you really work at the brakes hard, so those tires could wear quickly. Just 35 laps, and they were just run over there on the restart because they were the only two that stayed out.
I'd say this is probably one of the better Xfinity races I've seen at Richmond in terms of competitiveness. A lot of guys up there racing for the lead. Any final thoughts?
It was a good race. I think Richmond gets a lot of flack for kind of the long green flag runs, but it's a driver's racetrack. I think the drivers have a lot of fun running on this track and being able to save tire. And, you know, if we didn't get that caution for Jeremy Clements stalling, we might have had a finish play out similar to like the Denny Hamlin one last year. So, you know, just some kind of different tire strategy that, someone pulls it off with some strategy, but we'll never know now.
Yeah.
And a quick shout out to Kaz Gralla in that San Mountain Racing number 2016. Fourth place finish, one of the 6 career top 5 for Kaz Gralla, and 4th ever top 5 for Sam Mountain Racing. The first one by a driver not named John Hunter Nemechek. So definitely a big milestone for that driver and that race team.
Yeah, BCU alum Sam Hunt. We got Beyond the Cockpit coming with him in the next couple weeks or so. So that's going to do it for us today, but we'll have the Cup race tomorrow, and we'll have lots to talk about after that, I guess. And we'll see you guys then.
Hello and welcome from just outside the media center at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Steven, he's Phil, and we were both in attendance for the SpeedyCash.com 250 today. After 172 laps, it was Carson Hocevar who won his first career race. Although, I mean, we were all expecting a first-time winner based on what was happening today, but it wasn't the one we thought. Nick Sanchez dominated the day. He won the pole, his second in just 5 starts, and he led all but 4 laps. But it was a crash coming to the final lap involving him, Hocevar, Zane Smith, and Eckes, who had kind of been the best cars all day. That unfortunately ended the bid for his first win. Other than that, there was obviously towards the end, there's a lot of crashes. The most notable of which was a vicious crash involving Dean Thompson and others. Phil, can you describe what happened there?
Well, it's a sad truth out there. Thompson was running as high as 4th out there. He'd gotten out of the groove, slipped back to 19th. He was on the way back forward, and he got out of the groove, hit the wall exiting turn 4 on lap 144, and spun across the track and got nailed by Matt Mills, who claimed that he suffered a brake failure. His pedal went straight to the floor, and he could not avoid the stationary Thompson. In addition, Trey Hutchins III and Armani Williams also got caught up in the crash. Thompson was transported to a local hospital. He has since tweeted that he's in good spirits. He says that he's just getting scans, and once he's finished there, he's going to go home and have a beer. That's about as good as you can hope in a situation like that, because that was a heinous hit.
Well said, and we wish him well, and hopefully he can make it to the next race. But those are the biggest stories outside of Sanchez leading and Thompson's crash. The restarts were interesting, but after it got spread out, it was kind of hard for drivers to make passes, which has kind of been the norm at Texas. But obviously, it was set up for a good finish until the final lap crash at the end. So that's all from Texas Motor Speedway today. We will be back with the IndyCar race tomorrow with the PPG 375. I'm Steven. He's Phil, and we will see you tomorrow, Frontstretch.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check one of those 2 videos out that we have right beside you. Visit Frontstretch.com for more great content.